Hey, what is going on, guys? Jeff back here for another video, another little sneak peek at a part of the new Excelsior Widebody kit coming for the Z33 as a part of Project Zailas. So I'm very excited to show you this new part in this video. I have decided that it is now time to show you guys the new side skirt design. So far you guys have seen the new front fender, the new rear fender, which I also have an update for you in this video I will show you. And now we are going to look at the new side skirt. So this is going to be very cool. You guys are really going to start to see how this kit is all coming together. If you watch the last 3 videos, including this one, all together, you'll really start to put the puzzle together and see how this kit is all kind of meshing together. So I am very excited to show this. This is a big part of the car, obviously. The side skirts are huge. They can make or break a build, at least the look of the build. And so I really, again, wanted to make sure that the part was very complementary in design to the rest of the pieces that I was building for the Excelsior kit. And I think that you guys will see that in this new piece. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Check out these new side skirts. I have had this branch that's just been hanging. It's disconnected from the tree already, but it's actually looped around this this big branch up here, and it's been hanging there for like 6 months. And so I cannot park my car here underneath it because I'm so terrified that one day it's just going to come down. But it's just been chilling for 6 months up there. I guess I just got to get a big enough ladder to get that thing down. But anyways, this is what you guys are here to see. There we go. There's the new side skirt design for Project Zailas Excelsior Widebody. You can see very extreme as always with all the other parts. You can see it's just as extreme in a lot of its angles, a lot of the lines. Again, like I say every single video, each part is designed with the rest of the kit in mind. So again, go back and watch the other 2 videos, the other 2 parts that I've revealed, and kind of mentally put them all together in your head if you can, and you'll see that they all flow beautifully. Here obviously this area is where it connects to the front fender, so the bottom of the new fender is very seamless right up against that line right there. It's going to be nice and clean. It of course mounts up through the top right along the edge of the door jamb on the inside. Again, this side skirt, as I had mentioned in the last video, was completely scratch built. It does not use a base of a different side skirt at all. This is 100% scratch built design and build. So you will not see another skirt that looks exactly like this anywhere at all. It's 100% brand new. So probably the biggest feature of these skirts is these 2 massive ducts that you can see in the back right there. This is again another thing where if you imagine the rear fender that we showed in the last video, and I'll give you an update on in this video, but you can see how it is going to match up very beautifully with this body line here, and you guys will love it when it's on the car. I'm not going to show you guys everything all together. I want to still leave that little element of surprise for when the car is done, but I am showing you these pieces just for the sake of showing you the design that has gone into them. But these 2 massive ducts right here are 2 of the major design points that you will see right away. The eyes are just drawn right to them, and it's going to be really amazing when the whole car is together. There's going to be nice tasty mesh in there. It's not just going to be gaping holes, but it's a little bit of a supercar type of influence, not too much. I didn't want to do the whole my Z is a Lamborghini or my Z is a Ferrari type of deal. I wanted to keep it still, you know, very JDM type of look to it without getting into too much of a European style design. But the ducting in there, it just became necessary again as I got into designing the rest of the kit. I wanted to really go extreme with it. When I first started building this, these ducts were about half that size. They were not that big at all, and I just decided, man, you know what, I want to go more extreme. I want to go more crazy. So I went ahead and extended them. It's a double duct, obviously, that you can see. We have this center line that comes in just like that into the front ducts that I'll go into a little bit more detail in just a moment. And that is what separates the 2 ducts. There's an upper and a lower section right there, so air is going to flow in through there, and there is an exit. If you look in the back there, it exits out. If we look from this side, it exits out through the top just like that, so the air will flow back to the rear brake. And so they are functional vents as well. This body line right here is perfectly matched to the rear fender line, so it's all seamless right there. And then I purposely designed these areas very flat so that I could add some accessory pieces, another piece that you'll see in another video that was actually designed to be an addition to the side skirt, connecting the side skirt up to the rear fender. So that's all on purpose there like that as well. The design here, the overall design with the slope from the bottom coming up to the center line and then the vents in the front, this was actually inspired by Car Modify Wonder style side skirts. Some of you guys may be familiar, others may not be. It's not a very well-known brand, but Haruyama, who makes the Car Modify Wonder kits, he uses this type of style in his Sylvia body kits that he makes, which are some of the best in the world in my opinion. And so I was very inspired by that with the overall design aesthetic of having a center line and then a nice slope down to a base. The skirts are extremely wide, just like the Car Modify Wonder skirts are, so I definitely wanted to achieve a lot of width to match the insane width that we have on the new fenders. So it's very complementary width-wise as well. And as we move up through the front, you're going to see some of the detail work in the front. And I thought this was kind of cool. Instead of making an accessory piece that attaches to the front, I decided to actually integrate this little raised lip on the front there, just like that. Just build it right into the skirt itself as opposed to tacking something on there or bolting something on. And I think it looks really darn cool. I think it adds just a little bit of extra flair to it, a little bit of extra flavor. You can see in through the top, it kind of comes in, get a focus here, kind of comes in, not straight, but it has a little curve to it. Just a little details and stuff like that that make it a little bit more special in my opinion. And of course we have these GT style vents that were put in there, which I think came out amazing. They're all fanned out, so they're not just all flat, but they're all actually fanned out like that. So that looks amazing, sitting just under that new front fender, you can imagine. And again, everything mates up seamlessly right there. So this is the new side skirt design, guys. I hope you like it. I hope you think it's cool like I do. It took a lot of work. The side skirt probably took, oh man, probably took more time even than the rear bumper, and the rear bumper was insane. So yeah, this was a lot of work to get this right. You would be very surprised how difficult it is to get straight lines like that. It is so hard when you're working with composites and fiberglass to get nice, straight, even designs. I cannot tell you how many times I had to go back over and over and over and over again with filler, with glass, with everything I had, every bit of knowledge I had in my mind to get this thing perfect, to get it sitting the way it is right now. It was a massive undertaking. So I'm so glad it turned out finally. It's just a perfect example of never give up, and things will finally come to be if you just keep at it and you don't give up on it. So I'm very happy with the side skirt. I honestly don't think it could have turned out any better, and I hope you guys think so too. Alright, and as I had mentioned, I got an update for the rear fenders for you guys. Here is the rear fender that we saw in the previous video. And one of the things that I had mentioned is that I was trying to delete as much of the hardware, as much of the visible hardware as I could on this kit. And so I had mentioned that I deleted everything up here on the top and everything in the front that existed on the previous design of the fender. And the only thing that was left to do was to get rid of the bolts in the back somehow, and I didn't know how to do that at the time. But now, if we take a look at this rear section where previously you had those recesses for the fender hardware, it has been completely deleted. So I found out a solution, I figured out a solution, and that is to create this new lip over the top. So this is now folded over as opposed to where it just cut off before. I created this lip that actually tucks under the tail light, and then it actually goes behind right where the rear bumper attaches right there. I created two invisible attachment points right there, so you will not see any of this hardware at all. It's actually going to be using plastic retainer clips so that the tail light can actually fit nicely and snug right where it's supposed to. Now I actually intended to do this when I first designed this fender. That was my initial plan, but when I went to do it the first time, I looked at the gap, the clearance between the tail light and the quarter panel, and I thought, there's no freaking way I'm gonna be able to get any glass or kind of a lip, because it was literally less than like a 1/8 of an inch. It was like a 1/16 of an inch gap, and I thought, there's no way, even if I could get some glass under there, it's gonna be way too thin and it's just gonna break immediately. And so I just tossed out the idea, and that's why I didn't do this initially. And so a viewer of the last video actually sent me an Instagram DM and said, hey man, why don't you try doing it like Spirit Ray does with the Spirit Ray Kind body kit. And he said they just put it right under the tail light. And I thought to myself, well, wait a minute, I tried that, but, or at least I was gonna try that, but there wasn't enough clearance. So I said, well, wait a minute, if Spirit Ray managed to do it, I need to go back out there and check this out again. So sure enough, I went back out and I checked the clearance. I did a whole bunch of measurements, and I said, you know what, it doesn't look like it's gonna clear, but I'm just gonna freaking do it. And so I went, I built my glass, I did 4 layers of my glass, so I made sure it was really nice and strong, and I said if it's too thick, I'll just keep shaving it down until the tail light fits on there nicely. And sure enough, even with 4 layers of glass, the tail light, when I went to put it back on, man, it just clicked right in. And so I was very, very surprised that actually it does work. I did have to push a little bit of pressure down on the tail light to get it to line up with the bolt holes on the top of the tail light to get the tail light fixed, but it's not a big deal. It fits. You don't see any of the hardware, and I am 100% more satisfied now that there is no visible hardware on this upper rear section right here. It's all tucked under the tail light now. So thank you very much to the brother who sent me that DM to get me to come back out here and check that one more time. I just knocked it out. Like as soon as he DM'd me, I went out like that day and just knocked it out. So I'm so glad that just brings this to the next level even more. So I'm very happy about that. So there you have it, guys. That is it for this video. There's the update. New side skirt. And of course the rear fender right there. If you didn't see it in the last video, there it is. Before we go, I gotta do this. I gotta show you guys. I wasn't gonna do it in this video, but I gotta show you just how clean this is when the new rear fender mates up with the new side skirt. So check this out. Bam, there it is. So a little something extra for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. I will have another part to show you guys. This train just keeps on rolling, folks. We are almost done. I've almost got the front bumper done, and this car is gonna be out before we know it. So thank you guys for all of your continued support. I appreciate you all. I'll see you in the next one. God bless.